Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Adventures of Robin Hood game by Cosmos. Really, really fun game. Let's go ahead and dive on into it. Alright, so something that I love about this game is how simple it is to start. I love that. So you've got this really big like text font, one page that you look at this and then you look at this, and it shows you the basic movement of how the guys move, and then if you don't use the longest piece, then you gain strength, and that's all you need to know to begin playing the game. Now, I kind of compare it to video games where you have the tutorial, because obviously there's all these other rules, that you're going to need eventually. But the nice thing is you don't need those when you start. So another thing that's really, really cool, we'll get into the board and some of these other pieces, but as you start, kind of like I was saying with the video game, look at this book. This comes like literally with a small novel, and there's a lot of pictures and other things to help you out in here, and you're going to be flipping back and forth through this, but they've got some nice bookmarks that are color coordinated, and they even say like go back to the gold one, go to the red one. Really, really helpful. So your first game, you just read that first basic part, then you jump directly into the book, and your first adventure is basically going to train you. It's almost like the tutorial of video games where they're walking you through things or saying, press Y to pick up whatever, all those different things that they walk you through. And so this does the same thing. There's, I think, 8 adventures in here, and they're each an hour approximately, and that changes a little bit depending on the number of players you're playing with and that kind of thing. It is a 2 to 4 player game. I love that. I love that it's got kind of bonus things that you do with more people and different things. So really fun to have that flexibility as well. But the very first adventure is awesome in just getting you acquainted with the rules. And so it's going to feel very simple. It's going to feel like you're not playing. It's just going to tell you literally some of these things, like if you are Robin Hood, here we go. So green, you breathe in the cold and wet forest air of Sherwood. It's been years since you were last here, way back before the Crusades. Since then, you have been plagued by weird dreams of suffering and fire and a horned creature. It's as though this shape has been summoning you. Task: you must now move towards shape 90, center of the forest, and draw the next disc. And so it's like, well, wait a second. I don't actually get a turn. It's just telling me exactly what to do. So they're going to tell you what to do throughout a lot of the first handful of turns of this first adventure, so that they can teach you how to do some of these things that you don't know how to do yet. So as opposed to reading them in the rules and figuring out how to do that, they're going to train you on some of that. And I love that aspect of that, these adventure games. And the story is just really, really cool. There are different things that you can do that'll help or hinder you in different ways. There's different ways you can go about the adventure, and more as you continue to go along. So really, really cool. The other thing that's kind of neat is just all these pieces that you get. So you have here's 2 different characters, and so for each of these characters, this would be, I guess that would not be one of them, excuse me. I can't remember who yellow is, but you've got this long piece right here, and then you got 2 of these. Can you see those okay? So 2 of those kind of medium ones, and you've got 2 of these small ones. So this is indicating how far you can move within a turn. And so you can move on the board this physical distance right here. That's the furthest you can move. If you don't use this longest one, you save strength, and you get to throw one of these white cubes into the bag, which is helpful for other things later on. So you have 4 different characters. The character pieces feel really, really nice. There's other pieces that you put on the board. So there's this horse guy, which you don't use in the first one, but they do come later on. There's some of these. And so there's all sorts of different nice wooden pieces and things and discs that you'll pull out of the bag to say whose turn it is. And then you have some other wooden discs and pieces in here. You've got some other minor characters with these gray pieces down here. So just really, really unique and put together really in a fun fun way. So here is the last thing I just wanted to show you for now. This is a ginormous board. It's put together kind of like a puzzle. You just put these pieces together where they fit. And so that's part of the castle. Anyhow, it's not that important. There are 8 of these, I believe, and so these are put together. It's a big board. It's one of the bigger boards I've ever played with. But these things, as you're going around, there's some question marks. You can go examine those, figure out what that is. There's shaded pieces where you're hidden from the guards, and then there's these light open spaces where the guards would find you if the red disc is drawn, that kind of thing. And there's all sorts of these different tiles that you flip at different times. And so this one right here is a guard. So you can see that guard right there. And so you can flip him over, you can flip him back, depending on what the game tells you to do. And that just changes the situation and circumstances of things in a really cool and fun way. And you don't know what's going to happen with these question marks. I'm assuming some of them could be bad. There was one of them that was good for us, and so we're like, should we go with another? No, we don't need to. I don't want it to accidentally be bad, but really, really fun game. I really enjoyed getting to know this a little bit, and I'm really excited about it. So hopefully that gives you just a quick touch and a taste of Robin Hood, what this game is. And you know, it's pretty fun just to be Robin Hood. Put yourself in those shoes and go out on those adventures. So hopefully that gives you just a quick touch and a taste of what this game is, what it does, and why it may or may not be right for you. Thanks.